Something that really intrigues me about Sonic X Shadow Generations is that we've gotten so much footage of the game, but in reality, we know nothing. We don't know anything about the gameplay loop, how the open zone will work, or anything about the story. And I want to do a whole video on why this marketing is so successful in a separate video. But today, I want to do a little bit of theory crafting. I want to try and solve some of the mysteries that we have about this game, all the way up to trying to predict the ending of the game. So, I think we should start off small and then work our way up to bigger things. So let's start off with this. What the hell is this thing? I think we've all been wondering why Doom looks like a biblically accurate angel here, and I've seen a lot of people say that this is his final form and this is going to be the final fight against Doom in the final boss. But I'm not sure that's the case. My theory is that this is actually the Black Comet. Now, I have a few reasons to believe this is the Black Comet. First off, the tentacles coming out of it. The Black Comet also has these weird tendrils that would hang off of it. And just the pure size of it, it would make sense that this is the Black Comet. Now, it would also make sense because that would probably be our Shadow 05 representation. And I know that we got the Westopolis remix from TGS, but I don't think it will be an actual stage. Now, why is it in a shell? Well, I think it's because Doom is trying to protect it so that it can regain its strength. Because if you remember last time... So yeah, it needs some healing. Now, how will Shadow break open this shell? Well, if you notice, the shell has these eyeballs on them. And if I were a betting man, which I am, it's a serious problem, I'm willing to bet that every time Shadow goes up to the Doom egg, Shadow's going up there to pop some eyes. Now, how would he go about doing this? Well, if you noticed, there are moments in the game where white space becomes red space and enemies start coming out of the Doom egg, kind of like a Blood Moon event, which is probably after Shadow beats a certain number of levels. Kind of like how in Bowser's Fury, Bowser becomes enraged and you have to either wait it out or go stop him. And every time Shadow flies up there, I'm betting that he's going up there to beat a boss. And with every boss that he fights, one eye will pop, weakening the protection of the shell. And when all the eyes are popped, the shell will break and reveal the Black Comet, which I think is either the penultimate or the final stage. And it kind of lines up so far with what we've seen. We have seen 3 bosses, BioLizard, Metal Overlord, and Mephiles, and we see 3 eyeballs. And I know people were hoping for Infinite to be a boss, but let's be for real, who really wants this fodder character in the game? Now, this kind of discussion, kind of not really, but it just goes to my next point of discussion. How will the open zone work? When it comes to this topic, we have very little info on how it actually works, but we do have a bit of information that actually gives us an interesting idea of how things might go down. So, in early screenshots of the open zone, a lot of the platforms are areas that we've seen made up of like this white castle aesthetic type buildings. But in the newest trailer for the game, we get a short glimpse of 2 instances of what appears to be Radical Highway assets in the open zone. The first time is when Shadow is going to fly up to the Doom egg. We can see the bridge from Radical Highway. The other is when we see all the enemies coming out of the egg. We can see some gunbots land on a Radical Highway road. Now, I'm not sure if it's only for Radical Highway or if this will appear for every stage. Every stage we beat, parts of those levels seep into the open zone to, better represent Shadow fixing time story. Or if it's only going to be Radical Highway because, as far as we know, it's the most volatile stage in the game, being the only one that gets super trippy. But the idea of level assets seeping into the open zone is such a cool idea and is similar to what happened to Frontiers, where as you do more missions, more grind wheels would spawn in the open world, and it kind of felt like you were almost building the world as you played. And it looks like Shadow Generations is going to take this to a much larger extent, where not just grind reels, but whole platforming challenges will start to build as you are starting to heal time, which is such a cool detail. Now, finally, I want to talk a bit about the story of Shadow Gens, because we have a few hints about it after the newest trailer and what it could be about. The first and probably the biggest, Maria and Gerald Robotnik will 100% have major roles in the story, probably being like side characters who are constantly talking to Shadow. And my current theory is that this story can go down 2 roads. One is the light path, and one is the super fucked up dark path. Let's start with the light path, and probably the one they're gonna run with the most likely. So Shadow is going to find Maria and Joe Robotnik, and throughout the game, I think Shadow is going to finally get the closure that he needs. People want to believe that after 05, Shadow just kind of forgot about Maria and wanting to move on from his past, which I don't think is the case. I still think he fights for Maria's dream of protecting the planet, but I don't truly believe that he's moved on. He's never really gotten closure, and we can see that it really still affects him, especially in Dark Beginnings, where he's still haunted by that day where he lost Maria. So I think that over the game, either Maria or Gerald is going to help Shadow come to terms with what happened, and after they beat Doom once and for all, Maria is going to have to go back to the past and die. But I think it'll be okay for Shadow. He'll hopefully have the closure that he needs and have a proper goodbye with Maria. For a while, I was wondering what they would do with Shadow, because for me, after Sonic 06, his character arc kind of felt complete. So I didn't really know what they were going to do or take his character to. But if they go this route and have this moment change his character, where he has this burden and trauma lifted off of him, where he can probably move on, unlike Shadow 05, then I think I will be fine with that. Now there's still the dark option, which I don't really think they're going to do, but if they do, oh my god. So my dark theory is that what if Maria and Gerald aren't actually Maria and Gerald, but Doom manifestations and illusions, and throughout the whole game, these fake versions of these characters are manipulating Shadow into doing things that will actually help Doom without Shadow knowing. And at the end, it's revealed that they were all Doom manipulations, and this will send Shadow over the edge, being the most angry and the most messed up version that he's ever been, in my opinion. And at the end, when all is said and done, he turns out worse than he actually was at the beginning of the game. And honestly, the chances of this happening are not zero. Iizuka said that there may come a time where Shadow is written as more of a villain again. And if this event changes Shadow for the worst, we could see Shadow almost regress and become a villain. But I think that's fucking stupid. I really hope they don't do what I just suggested, but it's just interesting to think about what could possibly happen. And yeah, those are some of the interesting theories that I tried to crack for Sonic X Shadow Generations. And even if I get just one of these right, I'll be pretty happy. If I were to choose one that I was like the most certain about, it's probably the open zone aspect of the game, because that one, I mean, it's just there, right? I don't know if it's just gonna be for Radical Highway again, but we'll find out. And again, I think it's amazing that we have so much to really dive into when it comes to this game, but at the same time, we're kept in the dark about so much. It just makes the game so intriguing, and I cannot wait for the game. I need it now. I need October 25th, technically 22nd, because I can play it soon 3 days earlier because of the pre-order bonus. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications, and comment down below some of your theories about Sonic X Shadow Generations. What theories do you have that may happen, or I don't know. Also guys, I'm very, very sorry about not uploading the big video. I wanted to upload it this week, but I've been very busy. Hopefully, I can do it this week or the next week about uploading. But because it's a long video, it's like a 25-ish minute video, so it's gonna be long. But I think I can do it if I work on it over the weekend and blah 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 blah. Hopefully, I will get it to y'all. But I'm very excited for it. I hope y'all are excited. And man, that's really all I have to say for today. Again, if y'all enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, turn on notifications, comment what you think about the theories and all that, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Or I don't know, maybe I'm gonna freaking leave and go to Bulgaria or the Baltics. Yeah!